Hello everybody, my name is Lucky Lebepe and I hope I find you well. You are watching Life After Death. This show is based on my book titled Life After Death, and if you want more information on what I'm talking about on these episodes and on my YouTube channel, I want you to follow the announcement that will follow at the end of this broadcast to make sure that you get yourself a copy of Life After Death, and your financial life will never be the same again. Now, on this show, Life After Death, this is a show we talk about money on this show, and we show you ways and means by which you can come out of debt and live a financially free life. On today's episode, I want to talk about something that's probably a bit hilarious and, jokeful. It's something that was once a stress, but with time it has become a joke here in our country, South Africa. I don't know where you are watching us from, but here in South Africa, January is just one of those months where people say, January is full of worries, and that's why it's called January. We worry in January. It's been joked about all over social media in our country, South Africa, as a very difficult month, as a month where people are broke, as a month where people have a lot of money at the end of their money than a lot of money at the end of the month. And people blame January on so many things. So today I want to talk to you about how to avoid being broke in January. So for starters, a lot of people think, well, it's okay, we understand why you should be broke. In fact, they believe everybody should be broke in January, and they blame it on the festivity. They say, well, we just came out of the festive season. Yes, we did have bonus, but it's December. It's happening in December. It's family gatherings. It's friends you have not seen back at home over the whole years, and it's parties left, right, and center. It's Christmas clothes for children, and they say by the time January comes, then it's school fees, stationery, all of these things, and that's why January becomes such a difficult month that a lot of people joke about, only having a few tomatoes and just a couple of water bottles in their refrigerators, their electricity utility down and out. And so there is this generally accepted belief that January should actually become a very difficult month. Now, how do we avoid getting broke in January? Now, I want to say just two things. One is financial freedom has to be intentional and has to be intense. So without intentionality and intensity, you will never realize financial freedom. You have to be quite determined. You have to have an unwavering determination and make a conscious decision that you want financial freedom. Now, I'm very glad that I am doing this broadcast in the middle of the year. A lot of people still have a way leave of time where you can save up money for January, and that's exactly what you do. If you want to avoid being broke in January, you're going to do that through saving. There's a saying that says, if you don't save money, you are not safe. If you don't save money, you're not safe. And that's probably the reason why you end up getting broke in January. Now, a simple principle of money management is that you should not be spending all your money. And if you are, you're not spending your money wisely. And, there could be a lot of reasons. Debt is one of them. And that's why I'm doing this broadcast today. But the simple mathematics of how to spend money, which is something derived from consumer economics, basics of consumer economics, is that you should give at least 10% of your money, you should spend 75% of your money, and you should save 15% of your money. That's simple consumer economics. You give 10%, and that could mean giving tithe if you are a religious person, or black tax if you are supporting your siblings back at home. But you have to spend 75%, which will go on your utilities, your mandatory expense, and all these other things I discuss on my other episodes where I talk about how to spend your 75% or budgeting. Now, then you save 15%. 15% is what you should save every month. Now, if you develop this money habit of saving 15% of your money every month, imagine if you are earning 15,000 a month and you save 1,500 each and every month from January up until December. By the time December comes, you have a lot of money in your savings account plus a performance bonus that you can have. So you can simply use your performance bonus to do some of your Decembering, as we call it in South Africa, and deal with some of the, bills and expenses and get-togethers and entertainments of December, while you know that you have a whole lot of savings that you have accrued the entire year, and you can basically use that savings and towards your January feast. So people who don't have stress with January, in fact, while a lot of you might think January is generally a just difficult month, there are people who don't see that. Why? Because they have developed a habit of saving money each month for the entire year, and they assign those savings specifically for January. And such people, when January comes and the schools are reopened, they pay the entire year's school fees with their savings and buy stationery, and they don't seem to be as stressed as a lot of people make it seem on social media. So the simple thing about avoiding being broke in January is developing a fixed savings plans where on a monthly basis you have a fixed rate that you put in your savings account, and you actually attribute that money towards your January expenses and bills. And if you do that, you would have just changed your January if you are that person that frequently see January as a difficult month. Just remember this that I'm talking about right now, and even more, about 22 chapters in my book, Life After Death. Follow the next announcement to get yourself a copy of Life After Death for more information, and your life will never be the same.
We hope that you've been impacted by this broadcast. To order a copy of Life After Death, send us a WhatsApp or SMS text message to 071 352 4581. You can also request a list of other books by Lucky Lebepe via the same contact. Be sure to subscribe to Lucky Lebepe YouTube channel for more episodes. Life After Death, a guide to financial freedom.